This show is produced by the Harwood Podcast Network.
Today I'm making Ajiaco, a traditional Colombian chicken and potato stew. And I'm really fortunate because I'm able to cook the stew in traditional Colombian pottery. This is called chambaware and it's handmade in South America. It was graciously furnished to me by Toque Blanche. They're a wonderful site that has incredible tools for the home chef. Now, if you'd like to see how the village of La Chamba works together to make these beautiful pieces, check out the fascinating photo essay at mytoque.com. Now, if you'd like to get the recipe for the ajiaco, get your smartphone and scan the QR code here on the screen and the recipe will come right up. We're going to begin by building our broth. So in my chamba soup pot, I'm going to place 2 cups of chicken broth, 6 cups of water, and I have 2 chicken breasts and 2 chicken thighs. These have the bone in them, but I want to pull that skin off. That would bring added fat that we don't want in our broth. Next, I'm going to add 1 Yukon Gold potato that I've peeled and sliced. What this potato does, it's going to break down and help thicken our stew. Next, I have a half of an onion that I'm going to chop up and add that to my pot. And then 2 cloves of garlic. Then for our last bit of flavoring, 1 bay leaf, some salt, and some pepper. Now I'm going to take this over to the stove and put it on a high heat and bring it to boil. Now once this comes to boil, I'm going to turn the heat down to medium and I'm going to let this simmer for 30 minutes. Now while the broth and chicken is simmering, I'm going to get a few more vegetables ready. I have 3 brown russet potatoes that I'm going to peel and cut into 1/2-inch slices. Then I have 2 ears of corn and I'm going to cut these into some wheels that are about 2 inches thick. I also have 6 small red potatoes that I'm going to cut in half. Now after the chicken has been simmering in the broth for 30 minutes, I'm going to pull out the 2 breasts, and you can see those have cooked up very nicely. I'm going to put them on a little dish off to the side. I'm then going to put my timer on for 10 minutes and let the broth continue to simmer. And I'll come in with my wooden spoon and I'll start breaking up those Yukon Gold potatoes, because remember, that is what's going to help thicken our stew. And after 10 minutes, I'm then going to start adding my russet potatoes, my corn, and my red potatoes into the pot. And I'm going to let those cook for 20 minutes just until they're nice and tender. Now while the chicken and potatoes are simmering for those last 20 minutes, I'm going to take the meat off of the chicken breasts. You can see it's cool enough for me to handle. And I'll just break those large pieces up just a little bit. And then I'll just take a piece of foil and cover that over to keep the chicken warm. Now the secret ingredient in this stew is Guascas. Guascas is a plant that's a member of the daisy family, and it was originally grown up in the Andes. Now I'm going to be using it in its dry form today. I've measured out 1/4 cup of Guascas. Guascas is available here online at mytoque.com. Now once the corn and the potatoes are nice and tender, I'll add the breast meat back into the pot, and then my Guascas, and I'll give that a stir. And I'll continue to let that simmer for another 5 minutes. Now it's time to get the condiments ready for the soup, and this chamba triple dish will be perfect to serve them in. I have some drained capers, some sour cream, some sliced avocado, and some fresh cilantro that I'll give a rough chop to. And the very last thing I'm going to do is pull out those 2 thighs. I'll pull the meat off and put it back into the soup pot. Now you can see the stew is piping hot and I can still hold on to the handles with my bare hands. They're not hot at all. I think that's a really great thing. So many times soup pots, not only are they heavy, but they're cumbersome because of pot holders. Not with this pot. Now I'm going to be serving the stew in these beautiful Chamba Ajiaco bowls. They have a great style and shape and they're a great size for serving. Now this is something very interesting. I've had this pot off the stove for a couple of minutes. It's still boiling on the inside. With the Chambaware, you can take it right off the stove and put it right on the table, and it's still going to retain all of that heat. Now when you are serving the stew, make sure that you get a little bit of everything. Then we'll put a nice pinch of cilantro on top, a dollop of sour cream, a teaspoon of capers, and a slice of avocado. Now, if you'd like to find out more about this beautiful Chambaware, get your smartphone and scan the QR code here on the screen. It will take you right to Toque Blanche's website where they have a listing of all this beautiful pottery. Now, if you do decide to get into the Chamba line, let me tell you that when it ships to you, it is shipped and packed so beautifully. You don't have to worry about things coming in broken. With pottery, I think some of us do worry about that, but not with Toque Blanche. They do a beautiful job of shipping, and so rest assured your pieces will come in safe and sound. If you'd like to make this Colombian Ajiaco at home, just go to our website and go to the Soups On show notes page. I'll have not only the recipe there for you, but also links to Toque Blanche so you can see their beautiful line of Chambaware, and a link to the photo essay if you'd like to see how this beautiful pottery is made in Colombia. If you do make it, don't forget to send me a photo so I can send you the soup badge. And as always, if you have any ideas or questions for me, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.